We're ready to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just tweeted something. This is Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. We have True Armor in the queue in a Twitch environment. We're going live on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. True Armor, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's like every once in a while we get a chance to sit and chat, but we chat more offline about other stuff, about the serious stuff, than we sit here in front of the camera because both of us, we don't want to get canceled. Well, I don't want to get canceled. But before we even get started, true, I want to tell you about a new book that I'm reading that I just received. Life on the Grocery Line, a frontline experience in the global pandemic.
Okay.
By Adam Jonathan Catt. He's going to be one of our first people that will be chatting with us in 2022.
Oh, nice.
So, he talks about, just started reading it, but the gist of it is his life working as a cashier at, grocery store, Daily Grocers. And he imagines, the worst he would have to deal with would be like a grumpy customer, or, a specific long line, or, there's a specific sale or something like that. But believe it or not, he started the job and then COVID-19 hit, and he was just like, oh my goodness. So he tells his story of living in Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to read it. And this gentleman should be one of the first people we get to chat with during 2022.
Nice. Excuse me.
So that's the deal there. With you, wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. I wanted to know, hypothetically, because you deal with media, you're in the media. I wanted to know, there's a couple of questions I can ask you, but
Ask me the easy ones first.
what, to you, in your opinion, which streaming service had the best 2021?
How's it not like Netflix? Squid Games is the biggest stream thing, right? Everybody's still talking about it. It's got to be Netflix.
Okay. Squid Game, yes. I'm going to. I mean, it's not hard because Netflix itself, it lost Office, it lost Friends, and it just didn't. It just.
Yeah, but those are things that come and leave Netflix. You expect those things to come and go. Losing those things doesn't hit Netflix in the bottom line. They're not Netflix productions. You know what I mean? They just like the Friends came and went. Community came and went. Magna PI will come and go. Right? I mean, the Star Wars movies came and went. But as for their own content, I mean, their own content has been really good, barring the that weird superhero movie that even I didn't watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they've been good.
So
You got me out here defending Netflix.
you're defending the corporate conglomerate that takes everyone's money. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'll say HBO. Why are you shaking your head? No.
Wait, how is HBO not a corporate conglomerate that takes everybody's money?
Oh, it is, but I'm just saying it had a better year. it had
Okay.
a better streaming year because solely not only is I mean it's going to also have a better 22 because with the whole combination of Warner Brothers and Discovery is going to be big, but we're talking about 2021. The fact
Hmm.
that they released,
Amazon bought
Warner
MGM then.
Brothers decided to release movies in the theater and also on the streaming service. They released in 2021, I think about anywhere from 15 to 18 movies
Right.
in the
While
movie,
other people were
and you
getting
can
sued
also
and
check it
things.
out on a streaming service. I think
Right.
it wasn't anything bigger than that.
I agree with that. Not everybody wanted to go to movies.
Everyone
Right.
didn't want to go to the movies. Everyone didn't want to,
But a lot of people are acting like the pandemic's over and they're traveling already.
but let's just focus on the movies for one sec, and then
No,
we
I'm
can
just saying,
we,
like,
we
I
can
mean,
dip.
some people, so it played between people who wanted normalcy, go back to the movies, as well as, excuse me, as well as people who didn't want to leave the house, right? So now you can see it on your cable
Right.
box, the antiquated. Now you can see it in your streaming service. So yeah, it played to the environment. It was smart.
Yeah, I really think it did. You had a couple
Disney
of
got sued for it
movies earlier
with
on,
Panther.
the King Kong versus Godzilla, and this
Right.
one and that one, and a couple of movies. The Matrix, which
Black Widow.
is questionable.
Yeah, but
I
she
don't know.
didn't like the fact that it was put in movies and then put on Disney, and she sued. She was mad about it,
Well,
right?
but that's Disney. That's Disney and their issue or their what they want to
But
do.
now everybody has that issue. Everybody has that model of movie theater as well as streaming service,
Right.
right?
And I think um Warner was a little bit more cutting edge with making that decision to just go all in and
Right,
say, "Hey, we're going to make it available to you regardless."
right.
So I know on the back end, you have certain stars, based on ticket sales, get X amount of the gate. So
Right.
I wonder how they dealt with that. Um, but besides that, I think they had phenomenal year with that option. Netflix is Netflix. Squid Game is Squid Game. You take
Yeah.
a movie or you take a brand, you purchase it for $20 million, and you generate $900 million worth of advertising dollars and
Yeah, but
or
this is a long time in
subscriptions
coming if
and
you follow Netflix, right? So a couple of years back, they had Train to Busan, right, which was this a zombies on a train kind of thing. Then couple of years ago, they had the Dynasty or the Empire, where there was zombies in like uh, ancient China, like I want to say like the Qin Dynasty or something, right? So they keep pulling out these kind of like interesting little like Asian stories that sort of get really popular and give them a lot of buzz. But Squid Game just blew the doors off the whole thing. And have you seen it?
I have not seen Squid Game. I watched a little bit of the first episode, and I didn't see all 10 episodes or 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It really is. Um,
Is it totally in subtitles?
yeah, everything's in subtitles.
Okay.
And also they do this new lip syncing thing
Okay.
where it's not like the lip syncing of like our childhood. It looks like the actors can speak English.
Okay.
So, but yeah, but it's a pretty good script. It's a pretty interesting idea. Um, and when I first saw it, I was like, huh, right? So that's how you know it's good because I think it hit a lot of people like that, and it's been burning up the joint up until I want to say a week ago, 10 days ago, a week, 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah, top 10.
Uh, what's your take on Okay, so we're all 2020 was really leading us into 2019. We started live streaming. I would say mid to late 2019,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm gonna say mid to late 2019. What's your take on, or do you have a take on these audio rooms, kind of like a clubhouse, Spotify Green Room, a Twitter
Oh,
Spaces,
it's like
where it's like
Discord.
audio only.
It's like Discord, right?
Yeah, to a certain degree, it's like Discord, but Discord is still not it's very limited audio.
Right. Um, I don't know much about these other rooms. I
Okay.
mean,
Do
my
you
online music life is about that tiny.
do you
I still
prefer
prefer the radio while I'm driving around in the car. It introduces me to new music. Then I may come home and look up the video. But I don't like the fact that I only buy or play stuff that I've heard and I like. When am I ever going to get hear new stuff?
do
Car
you
radio, the natural churn.
do you
Uh,
prefer audio broadcasting or just live streaming?
what do you mean? Do audio broadcasting or live streaming? You mean like
Audio,
radio,
audio podcasting, or do you prefer this medium that we're using
which
now,
is podcasting?
or do you prefer just the audio podcasting?
Oh, I see what you say. No, I prefer the audio visual connected podcast.
Okay.
I get why you would strip the audio out, but it's I mean, this is meant to be seen, right? It's a visual medium. And it's not the 30s and the 40s where radio was big. And some people, like I said, I
Radio is
understand
still
why you need
big.
to strip it out for
Radio is
some
still
groups,
big.
but for the not, no, I'm not saying that it's not, but even as it is big, uh, what's in the bill, the Build Back Better thing that they, but that just collapsed. But one of the infrastructure bill was to get more broadband and Wi-Fi to rural areas. And when you do that, those people, when they have podcasts, it won't be radio shows, right? And that's my point.
Okay. Wow. So I like both mediums, but by trade, I got a face for radio. Um,
Yeah, but everyone knows what you look like now.
yeah,
You know,
but
the whole "I
I'm just
got face for
saying.
radio" thing was said when you didn't know what people look like. Once you knew what they would look like, the secret was out.
Okay.
We grew up in radio. We didn't know what our DJs looked like, right?
No, we
Now,
didn't.
now MTV and all this other stuff where everybody's a celebrity. Everybody knows what everybody looks like. It's part of the deal, unless you're a lucha libre wrestler. I don't get why this is hard to comprehend for like people, right? You sort of can build a rapport with people in this medium like you couldn't with TV, right? You get actual feedback. Um and there's a ton of people in the world. They're not all going to like you. They're not all going to hate you. And a handful of people may go, I totally get this guy's show, right? I totally get that girl's show, whether it's a cooking show or a knitting show or whatever. And that's what you're doing. But that comes with viewing you and talking to you and seeing how you look. This week, like I said, I went down a rabbit hole looking at drummers. I'm not going to get a drum kit. I'm not going to get a kit. Totally not going to get a kit. But if I do run across a used kit, I'm going to pick it up. Um,
What's the
but
main reason? What's the main number one reason you would get a drum set?
it's too many things to learn. I mean, I sort of fell down a rabbit hole. Um, but the more you look at it, you go, oh, and it's learning music, right? And as hobbies go, you fall all into this thing. But I'm like, I'm not going to buy like a $800 minimum like drum kit. They're expensive. And you can't just rip out on them because your neighbors would be mad at you. So I was like, all right, it doesn't make any sense. I don't even. How did we get on this? Me buying a drum kit.
Uh,
Uh,
Down the rabbit hole.
yeah, down the rabbit hole.
We were talking about audio podcasting, video podcasting, live streaming, but I wanted to know: Were
I
you
prefer live
inspired?
streaming
Were you
and live
inspired
audio podcasts.
to purchase the drum kit?
Um,
Was what inspired you to do it, or what
Me
inspired you to
trying to
think
learn
about?
music and just wandering in, and I was like, why am I bad with this metronome? Um, and then I just saw this dude who looked like he was having the greatest time in the world, just kind of like, and I was like, I never really looked at what drummers did, and then I was like, what is this with this kit? And then I saw somebody with like the base bare minimum of a drum kit really is the bass drum, the the I just forget, just went right out of my head. Um, the bass drum, the kick, and the hi hat. It's three pieces of it.
Okay,
Anyway, I forget. But I was like, really? Instead of all these things that I always saw, like all these drum kits and one, and all these cymbals, I was like, so then I was just kind of like sort of looking at how to put a kit together, and I was like, well, if it's really only three things, I can get that right. Like the kit, names the name I just forgot. Anyway, it's in my head. And a cymbal just to kind of keep the beat, the 1 2 3 4, like. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe that will help me playing this guitar. And then the more I looked at drums, the more I was like, well, how much is a whole set? And 3 kit, 4 kits, five. I'm sorry, 3 piece, 4 piece, 5 piece drum kits, and then there's silent drum kits where you can put these mesh things overhead and just go to friggin' town on the damn thing, and no one can hear you. And I was just, and before you knew it, I was just down a rabbit hole of drummers, watching people drum, and I was just kind of like, this is a bridge too far. You cannot buy a drum kit, and that's how my week with looking at drum kits went. You asked, man.
no, no, no. I'm fine with it. I just a follow up question is: If you do purchase this drum kit,
I'm not gonna
will,
do it.
will you or will you not? I'm speaking this into existence. Will you or will you not perform on these live
A, si-
streaming
a sidewalk
services that
coming
you're
near
on?
to you?
Say it again.
On a sidewalk coming near you, busking?
No, 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 no. On online.
Home Depot buckets?
Could you see yourself
Look,
on
yeah, I tell you,
Twitch,
man, I'm
on
going to be doing this for the
YouTube,
next. I'm going to be doing this for the next few
on
years.
on Twitter? Could
Yeah,
you see
if I'm
yourself
good,
performing?
it's something to be proud of. If I'm good, I absolutely would be on Twitch playing whatever I have.
But you're good with playing the guitar, and we really don't see you
That is
venture
not
out.
true. You're very kind. That is not true. I suck at the guitar still. I'm going to be good at the guitar in like another year. But all this. Oh, what is circular fifth and a flat five and flat seven and all this stuff and diminished this and a sus chord? What is all that stuff? And all that led me to like the keyboard and then something else. And then now I'm like, oh, and if I do learn the drums, I can actually write a small bit with the music that I know from the guitar and the keyboard and a drum, right? So this is how like hope works in like the human head. And I was like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna be writing any sonnets or anything, but it's nice to go, oh, I can play this piece of a song and I can play that piece of a song if I get good at it. So that's what I'm looking forward to down the line, 2 years down the line. But for right now, I'm like, I'm not buying a drum set. Um, and this is the hobby for now. I should get rid of all my comic books.
Why?
Had them forever. I think I'm over. My love of comic books are over. I don't even draw as much as I used to. Right. So you free up. You let some stuff go, and to support new stuff, and you see where your head goes. Um, yeah, music is what I want to see if I can take a shot at now.
So you're done
Just
with
alone.
politics.
Well, here's the thing, man. I follow politics hard and heavy, and it makes you crazy. So you need something else to get away from it, right? And for me, I'm gonna try to get away from it by listening to music and listen to how they wrote that and who wrote that and why this song is special and that song is special and why I remember this song from my childhood and love it. That versus spending all that same energy looking at the crooks like
Midterms
Pelosi.
are
Like this man just
11
died
months
at
away.
85, and he's as old as the president. And he just died from he was from Las Vegas.
Midterms are 11 months away. I find it highly unlikely that you're going to turn your head away from politics.
I've been doing it for 3 months. But hey, look, I'll ratchet it up when as the date approaches because I got no truck for some of these people. But I'm not gonna obsess about it. That's what my channel is. Channel. Please like and subscribe. That's what my channels are about. I'm not trying to obsess uh over the things I used to obsess about. They don't fix anything. So I can be better doing something else. And that for me is trying to get my cooking game up a little bit. Uh I may give up painting. But learn more music. I want to go back to writing, reading, you know. I like a graphic novel. Maybe I won't give up comic, but like graphic novels, stuff like this. These things relax me and are enjoyable versus just constantly stressing out about yet another impending American election. I've been doing this since I've been 18. So, people get stressed about it. And I'm definitely stressed about it after all these years. I had
Do
to
me a
be
favor, promote yourself. What are your channels?
Oh,
This is
yeah. All right.
Ted Hicks
So
from Late
please
Night
like and
Parents, Ways to
subscribe.
Call a
These are my
Show,
channels. My YouTube
latenightparents.com.
channel. Look at this kind of quality animation. And my Twitch channel. Please like and subscribe to both of those.
Put it closer to
Okay,
the
could
camera.
not. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So please, um, watch my journey as I learn how to not, good lord, learn how to not lose my crap about all these
So
politicians
Karma Armor
and do
on
something else. Karma Armor on Twitch, uh, a Karma Armor ARMA on Twitch, and Chew S Armor on YouTube.
okay, got it.
So
And
yeah,
on Twitter, you are
uh,
true_armor.
yeah,
ARMOR.
yes,
Okay, got it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna bring up something on the screen. And for those that are listening to this, it's an article. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Now, this is totally focused on Nassau County, where I currently reside. Well, I've
How many
resided for the
people
past
are
20
in
years.
Nassau County?
Say it again.
What's the population of Nassau County?
Nassau County is roughly 1.7 million.
Okay, and they're giving out 20,000 COVID tests.
Yes. So tomorrow, at the time that if that you're listening to this audio podcast in Nassau County, they are distributing 20,000 free COVID tests, at home tests, during a drive-through event at Mitchell Field in Uniondale. So Nassau County is partnering with Northwell Health to offer this free PCR option. Um, because what are we seeing? We're seeing long lines everywhere you go at every urgent care. And this is just not New York. This is, around the country. But it affects New York in a certain way. But Nassau residents will receive up to 3 kits per car on a first come, first served basis, free of charge. The drive through test site will be available to all residents at no cost Monday through Friday. You got to make an appointment. You go to northwell.edu, coronavirus COVID 19 PCR testing. So, to bring that up,
20,000 out of 1.7 million.
20,000 out of 1.7
I was
million.
looking. I was trying to do the math in my head, and I think that's less than 1/10 of 1%.
Right. So would you prefer that or nothing at all? And we wait on the TV and we wait for.
That is a. I don't see that kind of choice is just a false choice,
Well, it's
right?
first come first serve basis. You can go stand online at your city MD and wait 2 or 3 hours for a test.
Okay.
You can. Or the other option. So last week my wife wasn't feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't feeling well. And I went and picked her up some flu medication. So the Theraflu, the Deslin, the Mucinex, the stuff for potentially, I said, I don't know if you have the flu or not. I'm not a medical doctor. So came down to it, the story I shared, I think I shared it with you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. She said, I'm going to go get tested. I said, you're going to go get tested. I said, have you seen the lines out there? Yes. I went to my local Walgreens and they were selling the test for $10 a kit. Excuse me, $20 a kit, 2 tests. So it's basically a test for $10.
Okay.
Or you can go stand online for 3 hours.
No one's standing on line down here.
No one's standing. Well,
3 hours.
standing online 3 hours in New York, or
Roll right up, stick your arm out the window, get jabbed, and keep it driving
you know,
down here at the Rite Aid.
well, we're talking two different things: testing versus getting the jab. So was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? I got the
Okay, I guess that's true too.
yeah, I got the booster like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So I got shot number 3.
Okay.
And I'm already hearing that shot number 4 is potentially on the way. And I'm like, hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't understand it.
so I see it as this much. Nassau County is going to receive 200,000 tests, PCR tests. But
Okay.
they're primarily going to be for the schools
Okay.
to test the
They're
students.
earmarked. Okay.
Yes.
Here's my
They've got
problem.
they got about 220,000 that are, already queued up for the schools,
All right.
which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, because you got to think there's still that pocket of children from, newborns to, I think, either 5 or 7 years old that there's no option for them.
Right.
So, And then, you got everyone else is either 5 and up or 7 and up. They have the option of, the single shot versus the double shots, and then the the booster. So, my question to you is A, True Armor, you are the local mayor or the highest ranking official in your village,
Jurisdiction, village,
and you have
municipality.
access
Gotcha.
to, what would you do in this situation? Um, it's little to mild, infection rate in your village. You have the funding to get tests. What would you do?
I don't like the test.
Okay.
Here's my problem.
So what would you do?
I don't know, because like you want me to say test, but I don't like the test.
Okay.
Because every week I would have to test the same person. And
Throw,
you know what I mean? Testing,
disregard the
testing,
test.
testing.
Disregard the
And
test.
then that person
What would
eventually
you
gets
do?
it, then you don't need to test him anymore because he has antibodies, right? But the test sounds like a racket to me. Um, if you have a municipal job, you can't come to work without getting it, and it's that simple. You can't spread it as people are paying you, your freaking salary. That like, yeah, you're not paying your taxes to get COVID. So all these cops and firemen and EMTs and teachers, and I hate to say it, but you have a dark choice to make here. Um, yeah,
Okay, but what would you do?
I just said make every municipality, everybody who works for the municipality, uh, has to be vaccinated. Everybody who goes to the municipal institution, whether it's a court coming into a court or getting convicted, something has to be vaccinated. Um, or the kids who go into a public school has to get vaccinated unless they are too small to get vaccinated. Now the question becomes, what do you do with the really little ones? I'm less hesitant to say that they should get vaccinated, but
So are those the ones that are going to receive the test?
yeah, but then you have to test them all the time, and I don't know even about the test. So I'm not pro-test. You're asking me who am I giving something to that I'm not for in the first place?
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I tell you what I would do. I don't know about the test.
So would you just take their temperature every morning, or
Yeah, and then if something flags, then I guess you give them a test. But taking random tests to me doesn't make any sense.
okay?
Oh, we got a problem with Dave. We think he had to give him a test. Dude, that makes sense to me. Versus we're just gonna send tests to people's houses and you can only take it once, right? And then yeah, 20,000 tests. I mean, there's got to be a better way to direct those tests than to just hand them out willy nilly across the landscape in some sort of PR kind of political goodwill grab, I guess.
If you could make a prediction for 2022, what would be one prediction you would make?
The Dems are going to lose. That's
Mm,
that's the prediction I would make. I would say across the board, the Dems are going to lose.
I don't really see that as a prediction. I think
What do you see that
wholeheartedly
as?
they're gonna.
That's our
I think
prediction
they're gonna
across
get
the
their
board. They're going
clocks
to lose.
cleaned.
What?
I think they're gonna get their clocks cleaned.
Yeah, but I said across the board, so I just said it nicer. They're going to get fucked up. It's the same thing. But I just said it nicer the first time. They're going to get a sound thrubbing. Yeah, I think leaving all those people in Afghanistan, leaving all that equipment, just soured people, and then it just keeps getting worse. Then he was gonna uh canceled student debt. Then he decided not to. Then he was going to make you pay a couple up until a week ago, where the press was so not the press, but like the energy of it was so bad, he had to cancel it. Meanwhile, while he's doing that, Nancy Pelosi is and her husband's making a fortune on the stock market from what looks to me like, just to me, what looks to me like insider trading. Um, so yeah, people are just kind of like, and like I said on my show, look, sometimes I'm a voter. Like you don't inspire me, I'm not going to vote. But if you piss me off, I'll vote against you. And that's what it looks like to me now. People are pissed off and will eagerly vote against you who vote you have once secured. So very Hillary Clinton.
What do you see happening to in 2022 to someone like a Tucker Carlson?
These guys have to be canceled. They're fermenting war among the people for money. So we're gonna see. If people just keep letting it ride, bad things are gonna happen. I mean, that, like I say, I called it the age of assassinations. That shit will come back.
I'm going to take a totally different approach.
Hmm.
I think Tucker has so much power at Fox.
Yeah,
He
but
has
so
his
did
own
Bill
little
O'Reilly.
film crew.
He's not there anymore. So power is fleeting. He's not an owner, and that's the thing. Oh man,
Wait, what are you talking about?
you said he's Tucker Carlson has so much power at Fox News,
Yeah,
and I said so did Bill O'Reilly, and
his
he's not
show is
there
the
anymore.
most
Wait, hold
watched
it, and
show.
he hold it, and he's not there anymore because they're not owners. They're still just talent, and every now and then you get rid of talent for all kind of right. It was Rush Limbaugh. He's not there anymore. So Tucker Carlson's day will come.
Well,
And the
I
question
just
is
want to
when.
correct you.
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh is dead.
Yeah, but he
Um,
got thrown off the air, remember? He didn't die
Bill
on the air.
O'Reilly, Bill O'Reilly
He was thrown off the air.
for
But doesn't matter what for.
assault.
They were the point of this conversation was that they were kings at Fox News and they're not anymore. That's the
I,
point.
I I see it different with him. I see it different. I see this guy with the number one, the highest rated show on cable news every
But
night. He
Bill
gets to
O'Reilly had the
spew.
highest rated show.
Hold on. He gets to spew whatever he wants to spew about being an anti-vaxxer, about this,
Yeah, but
about
all those
that.
dudes did the same thing. And now they don't
Um,
have a platform.
and then he has he's part of the streaming service. He has his own film crew filming documentaries about January 6th. I think this guy is just potentially could be a Republican candidate in 2024.
No. Who not seriously. I mean, you still need Democrats to vote for you, right? Or you
No,
need the whole
Republican
country.
candidate. Republican candidate.
I know, but you're talking about to win the presidency, right?
He can be the Republican
But
candidate.
who he doesn't have broad support. So unless he was going to go to one of these states where he could run and win, which I'm pretty sure there's some of those, I don't see how he runs nationally and gets all these other groups you also need to win because the country isn't like 99% white anymore where you could do that. Um, yeah.
Uh Before we close out, your take on what's your take? Like I don't know how much TV you actually watch. The
Not a lot.
a lot.
Not a lot.
Okay, so this might not. I'm gonna throw out a statement. Okay,
But I do like to keep up with the kids. So what are the kids watching?
so I'm gonna throw out this statement.
Okay.
The arrival of Marvel on Disney Plus shifted the balance of power of streaming towards the weekly release, and Marvel turned into truly a year around 24/7 machine.
That's someone's opinion.
Do you agree? Do you
No,
disagree? Do you
I
have
think
Disney
everybody can
Plus?
do
Well, hold
things.
on, hold on. Do
You
you
just
do,
answered the right
do you
thing.
have Disney Plus?
No, I do not.
Okay. Um have you seen any of the shows that they released? Like, the Scarlet Witch or
No, I
Falcon and
have
Winter
not.
Soldier?
None of them.
Okay. So we should probably table that question.
Well, hold on. I have Amazon, and Amazon was releasing weekly The Expanse. So it's really the same thing, right? Um, also have Netflix, which just drops everything, but it's been releasing something weekly. And I was like, that's not what I pay Netflix for. I forgot what it is. It's not The
What
Witcher.
do they release weekly? They usually just dump it
Of the
and
whole thing. Yeah, I forgot what it was because I was like, this is not what I signed up for. I forgot what it was. What is it? Uh, anyway, it'll come to me. I should probably just look it up. Anyway, but it's at this point, it's like cars. Yeah, they all have automatic windows now and seat belts and brakes, but all those things are sort of hard won things, right? And only the most expensive cars had seat belts. You know what I mean? Or only the most expensive cars had, um, hazard lights before they became standard. Windshield wiper before all this stuff becomes standard. So yeah, I think that they're all the same streaming channel. Some just have windshield wipers, and like maybe some feel like they're two doors car versus a four door car. Some feel, and I only ever drive Jeep, so maybe I'm just loyal to like Netflix now. So I
hmm
think that's it. I think you're gonna find that you're gonna settle into maybe four or five of these things. Um, it'll probably be Netflix, Amazon, Disney, because those are giant companies already. And Amazon Prime just bought MGM deal, right? So
hmm
that's a ton of films. That's
hmm
so. I mean, it'll look like depending on what your thing is as a young person, you can watch Disney to death, and then as you age in, maybe you'll go to Amazon and watch, I don't know, John Wayne movies. You know what I mean? Um, maybe you'll end up in different streaming, but the streaming isn't going anyplace. uh, and and that whole drop some and then one a week. Maybe what they do now and may not be doing it in 3 years. You remember Netflix started with disc, right? Now
hmm
there are no more discs. So, and maybe Netflix will change terms of services. We're changing our thing now. We're releasing it once a week like everybody else. So, it is what it is, man. I view all of that shit as gimmicks, which is why I don't really need to see all. I don't need to own all of them. And I don't know how much because I was thinking about getting another, and I was like Disney Plus. I'd like to watch the Marvel stuff, but then I was just kind of like, it's a lot of TV to watch if you get another streaming service, and I already don't watch enough television. So but it depends on the kind of streaming person you're going to be. You think you're going to be as a streamer, or what you do.
Final,
Do you have
final.
all of them?
No. Mm-mm.
How many do you have? Three or four? You don't have to tell them, but what? Two or three, three or four, five or six?
3 or 4.
Okay. Yeah, I have two.
3 or 4.
So what is the average? The average family has, you
I'm
know?
thinking at least two or three
That's what I was
off the top of
thinking.
my head.
Right, that's what I was thinking. 2 or 3.
So
Netflix, Amazon, and Disney or something like that, right? Something for
yeah.
the kids. Netflix is that, yeah.
Last question I have for you.
Yeah.
TikTok,
Yep.
the most visited website of 2021, overtaking Google.
The kids and their dang rap music. Okay, TikTok. I feel like that's one of those things where I'm just gonna be like, "You damn kids, get off my lawn with your what is it like?" I barely know what Instagram is for. Um, what do they do on TikTok?
You could do
30,
it's
like not
it's,
even 30 seconds. It's like 10-second snippets of
but I think it can go up to 3 minutes. But for the most part, it's a
but you
short
can't have a
clip.
show on it.
Yeah.
You can't at all.
Um, TikTok's rise in its ability to mint these new internet personalities
Right,
overnight
right, but
has some of these tech
that's what
companies
the I'm sorry.
losing their minds. Because if you look at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, they all look similar.
Yeah, now.
They're all in portrait mode.
Right.
So, hence, I guess, well, we're on this platform because we like landscape.
Yeah, you should have choice. This was America anyway. You should have a little choice.
Well, I mean,
Um,
yeah, it's if you I mean, I guess if I like portrait, then I would be like we would be recording in portrait, but
exactly.
we're not. So,
Exactly.
do you foresee yourself creating a TikTok account and becoming immersed in TikTok in 2022?
That might be a thing. As soon as I figure out what TikTokers, what do they even call themselves, are supposed to be doing, then I'll try and see if I can do what they do, which is what you say, 10 seconds, sometimes up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, you're doing a clip and then it goes
And not
viral, and
everybody
then
dances, right? I can see you can dance for 2 minutes straight. TikTok. Oh man. Maybe that's the bridge too far. Maybe that just marks me as go on without me. You know? So I'm
but
married to the
I
last two,
mean,
the fax machine and the cell phone and the microwave oven.
they definitely
TikTok
know what they're
undid
doing.
me.
It's the number one website viewed in the
Really?
world. Yeah,
In the
they know what they're
world, not
doing.
just in North America.
Say it again.
In the world, not just in North America.
I can co-sign for North America, but I think it's in the world. But we'll focus on North America. I know definitely in North America.
Wow. Whew.
Any resolutions you want to speak on?
Yeah. Every year I'm for New Year's resolutions, trying to keep them. I think it's a good and healthy and spiritual thing to do. Uh this year I think I'm gonna try and curb my drinking to the stopping point and just sort of get back out in the world and sweat a little more, be a little more physical. I used to ride a skateboard and rollerblade and bike, and I used to run. Now I don't do any of that. So we want to just get the bones a rattling again, just to you know prove that we can, and hopefully that jarring our system will wake us up to be a better streamer, right? So that's the
Okay.
plan. That's the plan.
Okay.
Um, wish us luck with it.
Man, I want to thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
We covered a lot of different topics. We were all over the place, but
Yep.
I will say this much in rebuttal to your comment on MGM and Amazon.
Yeah.
I think the minute that deal is complete, those MGM execs
Out.
They
Yeah.
maybe keep one or two
Agreed.
and throw them somewhere, but the majority of upper management
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
All that overhead.
Take the money and run. Yeah, exactly. And then you bring in your people from other agencies who were vice
Mm-hmm.
president of this to make them, how the Amazon way. So I'm gonna stick you in this place, and this is what you do. And your first thing is to get everything digitized and
Mm-hmm.
on stream in about a year and a half or whatever their number is
Yep.
going to be.
You throw it up there because I solely they cut the deal not only strictly for James Bond, but for the library.
Yeah, it's a pretty good library.
Yeah. So, man, we will get together again very soon, maybe even before the end of 2021. Who knows? If
Yep,
not,
we got 2 more days. Let's do it.
all right, man, I'm gonna talk to you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.